When men go to inyanga, for them the risk is bigger because they've got families and they've got businesses. And it's not a secret, Yoguti, a lot of our black men bayatwala in different ways. Whether batwala ngamanzi, ngenyoka, ngumuntu. Now, I need you to listen to me carefully. When you date a man who has money, you've got two options. It's very clear that you're dating for money. And they know that you're dating for money. And because they have a surplus of money, they will make sure they take as much from you as possible. Young women, whether you sleep with a man with a condom or without a condom, it doesn't make a difference. Because your sweat is on him, your spirit is with him, your presence is with him, and you're in his environment. For an example, when we talk about environments, in people's houses, from the gate, something is poured at the gate. So Maunyathela, you have inherited some kind of umuti. When you get into the house, or when you get into the yard itself, that yard iqinisiwe. There are things in that yard that have been planted that you don't know. You inherit that. If somebody has died in that house and something was done to them, you inherit that. This is way before you have sex. Now, in a lot of these big houses, there are rooms that people don't go into. There are spaces that are not occupied or you're not invited into. For an example, when you go to a person otwele, ngenyoka, and they have the snake in their houses, it's either they keep it in a locked room or it's either they keep it in a coffin. I'll repeat that. It's either they keep that animal in a locked room or they keep it in a coffin. These coffins are usually in a back room or a locked room, and you won't even see it until it's presented to you at a certain time. At this point, you're probably drunk. You don't even see the chain of events because you're drunk, or you're drugged, or you're hypnotized. There are people that you are unable to speak to, looking at them straight in the eye because their presence is so heavy. Because they have washed their bodies with blood. They have drunk blood. They have eaten certain things. So when they come close to you, it's either they feel heavy, it's either you become scared automatically, even before they speak to you. You feel it in your gut that something is wrong. Or you feel it in your gut that this person, uyangisinda, is too heavy for me. It's because they wash with blood. Another thing, when a person who has done this sleeps with you, there are 4 things that happen. If uthole ngenyoka, at some point, they will require you to sleep with it. They will insert things inside of you that you don't even know. Bona, on their bodies, bayagcubisa amavasilini anomuthi. So when they sleep with you without a condom, they put those things inside your body. This will result in maggots in your vagina. You will have worms in your vagina. Your discharge will stink and it's uncurable. You will have multiple miscarriages because of umuthi uhleli phakathi in your womb. You will grow things in your stomach that doctors don't know how to explain, and they will end up saying it's fibroids when it's not. You will have babies that are disabled because this thing iyakudla ngaphakathi. Another thing, you will have a very bad aura. You will get into a room and people just feel disgusted by your presence. You will go to job interviews and people will not hire you. You will write exams and you will forget what you're writing. And in that moment, this thing is living inside of you. There are girls today who are okay with sleeping with men without condoms. And they think that the morning after pill will save them. It doesn't. It does not prevent the spiritual connotations that come with these things. Once all of that is done, either the man will tell you what's been done to you, or they won't. And if they don't, your body will deteriorate because you will not have the traditional medicine to sustain what's happening to your body. You will have bad dreams. You will not be able to eat properly. Your body odor will be so bad that you can't even sit next to another person. They will start feeling like we are noga. There's a lot of people online who are consistently looking for the next beautiful girl, a virgin, a certain body type, at a certain period of time. Because Uktwala has seasons. You can't ngeke ukhona ukuthwala when certain things are happening. So the Sangoma will tell you, Uguti, wait a minute for this season or for 2-3 weeks, let me prepare this for you before you do what you need to do. There's an increase of men who sleep with young women because of their purity. They know that you have not slept with a lot of guys, so you're still fairly clean. They know that you don't use the moti that they use, so they can easily overpower you. They know that you want money, so they will distract you from being with family, going to school, working. So you will be with that man for the longest time, every weekend, every night, and you will think that you're loved. But he's using you for a period of time so that he can get what he needs for this thing atwele ngayo. After that is done, they will ghost you. They will just leave you and go to the next one. But remember, sometimes this thing atwele ngayo will require a blood sacrifice. So it's either they will kill their firstborn sons, they will kill their wives, or they will kill you. If this thing that the abatwele ngayo says it wants you, come hell or high water, it will find you. You will be in a position where you're visiting this guy consistently. You go to his house, you sleep in his bed, and all the time, he marks the days where you go on your period. That time is very crucial because that's when you are ovulating. There's a possibility of pregnancy. That's when your body is most vulnerable. And that's when this thing can suck blood out of you easier. So they will force to sleep with you when you're on your period. At this time, they will make sure, Uguti, they have prepared their bodies to sort of deliver what they need to deliver to you. So bazotobisa imiti, bazofuta, bazokapa, bazoenza what they need to do. And remember, you're innocent. You don't know what the sacrifice is for. You don't know when it's coming because it's not like they're written on their foreheads. You won't see it. But you will feel it when you leave their houses. Uguti, something was done. Sometimes you will not even remember what was done. You will wake up and there is blood on your sheets, or there is sperm, or there is stuff that is sticky on your thighs and you don't even know how it happened. But at this point, when you are a blood sacrifice, it takes time for them to get what they want. For those of you who have encountered men and women who are excessively using traditional medicine, and you are not part of the rituals. For an example, when you don't go to a traditional healer, the chances of whatever they're doing to you are greater because you are more I'm trying to find the word, receptive to what they're doing. The other day, I got a DM from a lady who said she went to somebody's house in KZN, in Mhlanga. They had dinner with the friends and everything was perfect. And then during the night, this man came into her room, butt naked, and said to her, "Can you just give me a blowjob?" And this girl said, "How? But you're dating my friend. Why would you want a blowjob from me?" And he said, "No, I just like you. You look good. You know, I've been eyeing you all the time. I actually wanted you, not your friend, blah, blah, blah." And this girl gave him a blowjob. In the morning, her lips were swollen. Her tongue was swollen. She couldn't speak for days. Then my question is, why did you do it? Were you not aware? And if you were aware, what were your chances of leaving that house? 0. It's midnight. You're not going to leave. Your intention is not set out for you to leave. Another scenario. A girl in Pretoria goes to a house party. When they get there, it's friends again. She's dating the guy. The guy doesn't want to have sex with her. In the middle of the night, the guy says, "I want to introduce you to someone." And this girl says, "What?" And then this guy pulls out a snake in a bag and says, "This is so-and-so. And they want to have an encounter with you." This girl slept on the bed and the snake went on top of her body, sort of moving around her body. And this man says, you have to relax, because if you're fearful, it will attack you. But now, the problem is, if you don't relax, it will kill you. Then she says the snake went up her body, wrapped itself around, and she couldn't move. These are the things, and there are many other stories and many other examples. But our problem is, as young people, we want the good life at all costs. We are okay with sleeping anywhere, at anybody's house, in any hotel, at any given time for money. But we forget that once you do these things, whether male or female, whether we are Twala or we are Qinisa, or it's a case where you want to get a promotion or a job, you must always be consistent. You must do these things all the time. There's no leaving this. You must do it all the time. And the more you do it, the more these things will come. But we forget that the people who are online, who have the good life, they didn't get the good life by only hard work. There are things that they do to maintain their lifestyle. There are people that they do these things with to maintain their lifestyle. For an example, we are in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of people couldn't work for a good 5 months, plus minus. In the middle of the pandemic, some people were able to buy cars that are worth 3-4 million. They were able to go to expensive hotels in the middle of a pandemic. They were able to go shopping consistently in the middle of a pandemic. These influencers that you see online form part, and a very big part, of our social decay, because they show you the good life, but they don't tell you how they got it. It's easy to say you're making money from a water endorsement. In South Africa, endorsements are very scarce. And most of the time, some endorsements don't even pay because it's a trade-off. So you post something only to get free goods, right? Then in other cases, yes, they do pay you, but it's not millions.